Greetings, fellow moviegoers, and welcome to Movie Central, the place to talk about movies, TV shows based on movies, toys based on movies, games based on movies, and rides based on movies. I'm your host, Mr. CCS, and this is my pet gorilla, George. It's time to see the magic of Marvel. Dr. Stephen Strange first appeared in 1963's Strange Tales number 10. He quickly became an obscure character, though he did appear in a live-action TV movie, several of the 1990s cartoons, a straight-to-DVD animated film, video games, and the modern Marvel cartoons, though his quality in those is debatable. It wasn't until 2016 when he was first seen on the big screen with an all-star cast and other great films backing him. And that's what we're going to look at today. This is Doctor Strange. From Marvel Studios comes Doctor Strange, the story of the world-famous neurosurgeon Dr. Stephen Strange, played by Benedict Cumberbatch, whose life changes forever after a horrific car accident robs him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he is forced to look for healing and hope in an unlikely place, a mysterious enclave known as the Kamar Taj. He quickly learns that it is not just a center for healing, but also the front line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying our reality. Before long, Strange, armed with newly acquired magical powers, is forced to choose whether to return to his life of fortune and status or leave it behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. It's a powerful yet complex story about reinventing yourself. I do have to say it does go by a bit too fast, but it's still a good story. Let's talk about other attributes the movie has, starting with the characters. Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job playing Doctor Strange. He looks and acts like the part. Other than that, he's a confident surgeon who gets injured, loses his confidence, then gains it again by training. It's a great progression of the character. Baron Mordo, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, is also great. Sure, he can say some interesting lines, but I still like what he brought to the character, and I can't wait to see him as the villain in the sequel. Wong, played by Benedict Wong, is hilarious. I think he's the best comic relief of the MCU, unless if you count Korg from Thor Ragnarok, but I'll get there soon. I won't spoil what he does in the movie, but hot damn, it's hilarious. Now we have Christine Palmer, played by Rachel McAdams, who does a good job. Her relationship with Steven is believable in the first half of the movie, but by the second half, after that falling out, it comes back without a second thought. Yes, that can be distracting, but I'll focus on her performance. The Ancient One, played by Tilda Swinton, was just weird. Maybe it's just me, but sometimes I see Tilda Swinton playing the socially awkward character, and not the serious leader, who's bald. Yeah. But I like the character nonetheless, and I loved her inclusion in Avengers Endgame, which was the one time I didn't look at her as the socially outcast character. And then we have the villain, Caecilius, who is just decent. Mads Mikkelsen, the actor who plays him, is an amazing actor, but I didn't buy his villainous plans here. His design isn't threatening in the slightest, and to top it off, during an action-packed scene with Doctor Strange, he tells this dumb joke. Yeah, I swear that joke came out of nowhere in the actual movie. It made sense in the context of it. It made less sense in the context of it. That aside, I do love Michaelson's performance as a villain, as it works most of the time. The best example was in Casino Royale, where he plays Le Chiffre. Alright, moving on to the visuals. They are stunning to look at. From that scene where Steven is basically on drugs, to the fight scene, to the I've come to bargain scene, these are great VFX shots and always will be. The music was done by Michael Giacchino, who brings a more mystic feel when it comes to magic, as opposed to copying John Williams, which I was glad to see him do. And now the action. The fight on the street and the I've come to bargain scenes are still the best action scenes I've seen in a movie, as they were fast-paced, suspenseful, and overall great. My final verdict is that while this is not a great movie, Doctor Strange is a good movie with passable stories to tell, great characters, great VFX, great music, and good action. There are some bad scenes. This is one you can skip, unless if you want an education on the Infinity Stones, but you will have a good time watching it. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a good movie, and one that is fun and magical. Well, that's it for this review. Feel free to leave your comments on the movie below, and tune in next week when I take a look at the next and best Harry Potter movie. With that said, I'm Mr. CCS, this is Movie Central, and that, my friends, is a wrap. See you next week.